Hello everyone. I'm Dr. Surya Prakash, consultant neonatologist and pediatrician, Renova Hospital, Sanat Nagar. So now during the pandemic, we do come across a lot of screen time, and the parents do complain that the baby will be always watching videos on a WhatsApp, tablet, TV, whatever for that matter, the gadgets. So how to prevent all those things? What are the impact of that on the child's behavior? We'll just discuss that about in a couple of minutes. So what is screen time? Screen time is nothing but the child spends how many hours per day in the form of watching a TV or in the form of gadgets. That could be your TV, mobile phone, tablets, or for that could be any other electronic medias. So that is nothing but a screen time. So there are certain guidelines where the screen time has to be there for the babies. So generally less than 2 years, we don't recommend to have a screen time. So the screen has to be shown to the babies less than 2 years only for a calling distance relatives, or for that matter to show who are the family members. So that has to be restricted only to that period. So after 2 to 5 years, the screen time has to be 1 hour per day itself. So during the weekend, you can extend up to 3 hours, but during the weekdays, whatever working days are there, 1 hour per day. So after 5 years, only thing is you have to see how the baby behavior is. That has to be balanced between the physical activity and the sleep and the gadgets. So there has to be a balance between the physical activity and the screen time, and for that matter, the sleep. Generally, we do recommend around 8 to 9 hours of healthy sleep and physical activity around 4 hours. And gadgets for that matter, that has to be educational purpose only, or for that matter some spiritual can be added to that. So a lot of parents come and ask us like, why is that important that screen time has to be reduced? So there are a lot of impacts on the babies. It could be in the form of physical. What happens is during the physical activity will be reduced, the child tend to have a lot of food, the sedentary lifestyle that can lead to the obesity. The other problem is sleep disturbances. So you see a lot of gadgets, you have a sleep disturbances at night. So there can be a lot of strain on the back because the sitting posture, whatever is there, may not be perfect. The child tend to see the downstairs that can have a lot of neck pain, the back pain, the wrist pain if they are using a lot of gadgets. So these are the physical problem. Then have a psychological problem. So what are the psychological problem? So there are studies that these children which the screen time is more, they can have a lot of anxiety, they can have a lot of violence, they can have a depression, they can have a lot of antisocial behavior activity. So the parents may not be knowing what the child is seeing. It could be in the form of non-educational videos. They might be seeing some pornography, older children, or that can lead to a lot of psychological problem in the babies. They can have a lot of anxiety related problem. They can have bullying. We call it a cyber bullying. They can have a lot of problem with day-to-day with mingling and all with other people. That we call it a social problem. The social, mingling will be very less. With that, they have a social anxiety. The last most important, the problem which they can face is sedentary lifestyle. As we already discussed, it's obesity. And what they have found, the studies have found that the scholastic performance of these students or these babies, or for that matter children, will be very less. The one, IQ will be less, then the performance itself is a less. So these are the lot of impact on the babies. They have even found that whatever the cortex, which is important for the brain, one of the important the organ of the body is the brain, where the cortex thickness is reduced if the screen time is more. So these are the problems where the screen time can have an adverse effect on the children. So what are the ways we can prevent it? Have a healthy lifestyle. Make sure that the parents are also following the same principles. Nowadays what happens is, if the child is crying, to console the child, suddenly they will give a gadget, or if the child is not eating, they give a gadget, so that the child is more used to the system and the screen time is more, that can have a lot of impact. Though follow principles, the parents has to be there in the sense of guidelines. You can tell it as a role model for the kids to have a normal healthy lifestyle, like go out, have exercises, Keep doing more exercises and less screen time. That can result in less impact on the social, for that matter, emotional, psychological, and physical. Thank you.